Hi, I'm Evan,
And I'm Alexandra.
and we are within hiking distance. Over the past 18 months, we've hiked in 22 national parks. We've driven 28,775 miles through 11 states in the western U.S. And we're really excited to have you with us today.
So today we're going to talk about the health benefits of hiking. So we're going to tell you why we started hiking, about the physical health benefits of hiking, and also the mental health benefits of hiking. But first, we want to say hello to the people in the chat. Bonsoir les Français. Bonsoir maman. Bonsoir Jonathan. Merci d'être avec nous ce soir. We have our friends and family from France logged in, and we were wondering, so what, like, if you go hiking, why do you do it? Jonathan, maman, si vous allez marcher un petit peu, si vous aimez marcher, pourquoi est-ce que vous le faites? Si vous allez faire une randonnée, en fait, c'est dans quel esprit? Et puis on va en parler tout au long de la discussion. So the main topic, like I said, is we are talking about the health benefits of hiking. So we are not doctors and we don't have medical degrees. We just want to share our experience from hiking so much, and how we felt that changed into us. I mean, there's a lot of research going on hiking and the benefits of hiking and sports in general, and so our experience demonstrates a lot of what science found. So all these benefits have the equal amount, are just as good for children and adults alike.
Yep. So one of the reasons why we started to hike is, over the past 18 months, like I mentioned, we hiked 1,000 miles almost every day and everywhere we could hike, finding a path that fit our skill level and how tired we were that day. We hiked on 461 trails, and they average about 2 miles per hike over the 18 months. So these are a lot of the nature trails that we could have went on with our child. So they were maybe a quarter mile, half mile. So some of the we counted everything that we hiked on, and then we did longer hikes. It could be 6, 7, 8 miles, usually at the max. So it just depended on what was there. And we didn't have any training, obviously, for hiking. We just enjoy being outside and like to be, on the trails. And so we're just two average people who like doing sports, and but work was taking up a lot of our time. So, but we found an option to integrate hiking into our work-life balance.
Mm-hmm. That's right, yes. We lived in DC. We lived in Washington, DC, and we would do some activities sometimes. So I did the half marathon, the rock and roll half marathon in DC, and Evan completed 2 rock and roll marathons in DC. And I also did the Insanity training a little bit with my co-workers, and a little bit of yoga, but work, as Evan said, was taking most of our time. So we would hike sometimes a little bit. There are a couple of places. Washington DC is actually very nice to walk. And they have a couple of parks, Great Falls, that's really nice nearby. So we would try to escape as we could, but it was not what we felt like. We wanted more. So we actually wanted to see the West and see the national parks, and that was one of the reasons why we did the road trip, and we decided to start hiking so much. And the great thing about hiking is that you can do it at your own pace. You can walk, you can down there, you can hike, you can go fast. It's just really a matter of what comfort level you are in. And so if you want to go fast, you can go fast. If you want to go slow, you can go slow. It's really up to you. And there are different levels too. You can walk on a flat trail or one that goes up and down to get a more cardio. So that's really a wonderful thing to do. And the beauty of it, it's free. You put on your shoes and you just get in and get out, and and you walk. There are many places that are free that you can just go outside your house and all around you. And in our previous video we posted on Monday, we talked actually about Redwoods National and State Parks, and that's a national and state, these are free, completely free to anyone, so you can definitely look around and see and go and hike for free. So I want to say hi to people in the chat. I see that we have Lisa from Following the Ages. Hi Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. And I see we have Carol from Hike With Me. Hi there, Carol. Thank you for coming in. And we're talking about the health benefits of hiking, and I know you two are great hikers. So why do you go hiking? I want to know why you want to go hiking. And I already asked this to people in the chat. Jonathan, surtout pour se vider la tête et profiter de la nature et se concentrer sur ce qu'on ne voit pas assez. So he likes to go out to just empty his mind and enjoy nature and focusing on the little things that we can easily skip. And my mom said, Maman, tu as dit se rapprocher de la nature, se détendre et c'est bon pour notre équilibre. Je suis d'accord, oui. So my mom said that she goes hiking to go back to nature, to relax, and that she feels rebalanced when she does it, which is something I feel like as well. Oh, I want to say hi to Kay, Happy Trails Hiking, Marty's crew, hi Tony, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for joining.
Yes, we're talking about the health benefits of hiking, and so tell us in the chat, why do you go hiking? What's your thing about hiking? So Lisa says, when we hit our 60s, we decided to get more active, started with 2-mile hike, and have been adding ever since. We tried backpacking too, and have never been healthier. That's wonderful, Lisa. It is so good. I mean, we're going to get there. And thank you for sharing that with us. So we're going to talk about first the physical health benefits that we noticed from all our hiking.
Mm-hmm. So just some quick health benefits while hiking. So it improves blood pressure, lowers risk of heart disease, and regulates cholesterol. So I guess also the CDC found out that following research that walking for an hour a day, 5 days a week, can cut the risk of person experiencing a stroke in half. Also, it improves cardio. You know, we saw that firsthand, that we're out and on the trails. Just, you know, being active every day helps, you know, keep up with the endurance of hiking. And, you know, there's a lot of great examples that we had. So, for example, in Bryce Canyon, you know, a lot of up and downs in that park, and you know, really had to keep up the endurance. Also in Yosemite, we did some longer hikes, and yeah, you know, we just kind of built up to that level of, and plus we got a child on our backs, which adds, you know, 30-40 pounds with the gear and the child and the baby carrier. So it's a full pack on your back as well.
Definitely, yes. And
yeah, I guess one of the last things, it improves core muscle strength all over your body. So, you know, like I said, you know, just walking improves, yeah, your midsection, and carrying the backpack, like I said, yeah, 30-40 pounds, also adds a lot of that, you know, core muscle strength balance.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, it does. And so we got a couple of answers in the chat about why they love to go hiking. And so Kay from Happy Trails Hiking says they go hiking for spending time together, lower cholesterol and stress levels. Okay, that's great. And Marty's crew says, I love the feeling of being one with nature and love the kids' interest and excitement with it. That's definitely something we love too. It's beautiful to witness. And Carol said that she not only goes for the exercise but also for the adventure. So I think, Carol, you're a pathfinder. You like to, I think I remember from your videos, you know, you like to go in places that are kind of completely empty, and you kind of make your own trail and discover what's around, not being labeled or what, which is really fun. That's something we enjoy there too. And so, have you guys in the chat noticed anything special related to your physical health that has changed since since you started hiking? What did you notice in your body? How it's working? So I'm going to cover a little more on the physical health, and as any sport really. If you hike, you have less chances to be overweight because regular walks and hikes help regulate your weight, and it also helps losing fat. Because a crucial component of losing weight is exercising. It's difficult. It's impossible practically to. I mean, you can cut down on food to lose weight, but just to a certain point. Then you really need to exercise to lose weight. And I've read so many stories of people who were overweight and they were fed up with it. They wanted to do something, and they were like, okay, I'll just walk down the street and come back. That was really how they started into getting into exercise. Just I put on my sneakers, go walk down the street, and then after a couple of days they would walk around the block, and then after that they would walk around 2 blocks and building a little bit like the exercise and according to what they could do, and really becoming, losing a lot of weight, not only because of hiking, but that was definitely an important component of them losing weight. And another thing about hiking is that you feel so energized. I don't know if you feel that too. Is that when we lived in DC, we took a couple of weeks off and we went to Banff National Park in Canada, and we went hiking. So our son was a year old maybe, and we had a family taking care of him, and we went out for 4 days to hike all day long. And not only it was beautiful, but then when we came back to DC and I went back to work, I felt like I had so much energy. I was ready to tackle it again, It just really helps to get this level of energy you cannot get when you stay sat all day, or it really helps a lot. I've also found, let me see, I see Lisa says she got off her heart meds and only take thyroid now. Also blood pressure is way lower. Yes, well, that's wonderful to hear. I mean, it helps so much to, rather than taking pills, doing a little bit of exercises actually goes a long way. Definitely more energized also, Tony, and better muscle and respiratory endurance. Walking a few miles is a piece of cake now. And that's the thing, the more you walk and the more you will feel that it's easy to walk. Like when we started, you remember, we would do a 3 mile or something, and then...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was getting used to it, getting used to the backpack with all that weight, getting that settled, we were in Yellowstone where there's a lot of uphill, so... Yeah, it was a interesting start.
Yes, there was definitely a baptized by fire. And another thing that I found is that we were less sick. I mean, we were barely sick the whole time during the road trip. I mean, we got a cold or two, but it was never as bad as it could be when you have a sedentary life. And I had a strep throat once in Oregon, and I went to the doctor. I wasn't feeling so tired, I had a sore throat, and I looked in my throat and I was like, okay, that doesn't look normal. I should probably go see the doctor. And so I got diagnosed, and they confirmed, and they said, okay, you really need to rest and take it easy. Can you do that? And I said, yes. And then that day we actually went for the longest hike we've done that week. So I was tired when we came back, I'm not a Wonder Woman or anything at all. But I didn't feel so tired that I wanted to stay home and rest, I felt good enough that I could walk and be around. I never felt exhausted like sometimes you can feel when you're really, sick. So that's definitely a big difference I've noticed. And then the sleep quality is amazing when you hike. I mean, you sleep like a baby, right?
Yeah, definitely improves.
It improves. I mean, when you start hiking, you have those jerks, when you fall asleep. That always interesting, but those go away as you walk more and more. And I want to say hi to Lance in the chat, West Coast Hiking Trails. Thank you for joining, Lance. I appreciate you having here, and we're talking about the health benefits of hiking. Why do you go hiking, Lance? Why do you like hiking?
So next we'll talk about some of the mental health benefits of hiking. So I think it's been mentioned in a chat that it reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. So it's been proven, I guess, that hiking 20 minutes in nature helps reduce all that, what I mentioned, but hiking in the city, for instance, might not. So, getting outside even for 10 minutes would make a difference in your mood. And also, it's a time to unplug from the computer, from the TV, or any electronic, really. So just getting out in nature really helps you to connect and seize that moment.
Right, yes, and build better relationships, with the families and friends. If you're hiking on your own, it just allows you to have screen-free time, and then when you're with family, you actually, get to talk with them and enjoy the moment that you're spending with them, and that really helps a lot building the relationship. It forces you to really communicate, and determine common goals. How long do you want to hike today? And that's something that we had to ask ourselves every day. Like, so today, how do you feel? How long do you want to hike? How hard do you want the hike to be? And then we would determine together what would be best for the day.
We would have a list that we would, if we went to the visitor center, usually we would have a good idea of what hikes we want to do, and we would just, plug them in depending on how we felt the day. But we would usually get our top hikes in during that week of what we want to do.
Right, yes. Yes, and sometimes we, forced it a bit. Like, we would be tired, but we were only staying a couple of days, so we would maybe do a hike that would be a little longer than what we could handle or wanted to handle, but we would still do it and then take it a little more easy, the day after, or we hike practically every day.
Yeah. When we weren't traveling, we were hiking somewhere.
So that, it really helps creating that relationship, and it also helps being more creative. Actually, there are studies that show that people are more creative after going out for a walk in nature than people would have just stayed inside. So there are lots of little things like that. It really, I don't know, makes your brain breathe again. And I found that it gives it's a self-confidence boost. It really helps to build the self-confidence because you're doing this by yourself. We were doing it together. We were hiking it together, but it was just us. It was on us to pick the trail, how difficult it was, and to complete it. And we have a child, there's no, we're going to camp here tonight, you have a child and you're, you have some responsibilities, so you kind of have to do it, we didn't force ourselves to do it, but it was just that it felt like, we made it. Every time you finish a trail, and at least I don't know how you felt about this, but I would finish a trail and I would be like, one more, and if it was an awesome trail, even better. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, you always feel good about finishing the trail. I was always keeping a lot of video and photos, so if I got some nice photos and videos out of it, that was a plus as well. So yeah, it's always nice to get out, and I look forward to getting out in the future and doing a lot more trails and videos and that type of stuff. So it's something to look forward to.
Oops.
My turn.
Sorry. Yep.
Okay, and the last thing is just the feeling of accomplishment is great for your mental state. So like we mentioned, we hiked almost 1,000 miles in 18 months, and so some highlights were like hiking Angel's Landing, Nevada Falls, and Yosemite. We hiked 3 miles down into the Grand Canyon and then hiked 3 miles back up. So those were some big milestones, or just fun moments during our trip that you can look back on. And also, since I'm taking all these videos and photos along the way, and you see on YouTube that we're producing a lot of content from these activities, and they're not just sitting in a external drive or on our computer somewhere. We're actually doing something with them. So our son gets to see in the future, like, hey, I went here, and that was a cool hike, and we get to look back and have all those memories as well. So it's definitely a great feeling, and we're still producing from that, from our trip.
Yes, I mean, memories, amazing memories that we've created, definitely. And so I see in the chat there's been a little bit of activity going on. So Lance from West Coast Hiking Trail says he's been struggling with hikes recently because of the weather and not getting as much out as I was before. Yes, we get that.
Yeah, it's snowed here already. So we just had 3 inches of snow yesterday. It's melted off. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a change from the past 2 winters when we were, we would drive south and be able to miss the snow for at least most of the year and get to hike. So this year is going to be a little different. I have a season pass at a ski resort nearby, so I'll be doing that, and a couple other things I got lined up for this year and next year for outdoors activities. So so we'll stay tuned on those. But yeah, it's a little tougher not being able to hike.
Yes, and we are in a sedentary life now, so it's kind of hard. Like for us, like we bring our son to school and pick him up, and we work in the meantime. So actually, and then when our son comes back, he doesn't want to go out because he already played outside for 2.5 hours, which is great that they give him so much time to play outside. But then we need to go outside, and he doesn't want to go outside anymore.
So yeah, I'm running and trying to stay active, and yeah. So, but it's a lot different than being able to hike every day in somewhere beautiful, national park, national monument, state park. So it's definitely a big change in life.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the future holds. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's true. I miss hiking every day. It just felt, even if we were tired, we would just go, and then I never came back thinking, oh, we shouldn't have gone. I never came back once thinking that. So it was good. And so Carol was saying, yes, that it definitely builds the immunity to hike. It just feels so much better. And yes, finishing the trail, Tony, is the best feeling. Especially when you had a really tough one, or one where you thought it was going to be easier or shorter. Because a couple of times we got caught on trails that the mileage on trails is not necessarily very accurate, and sometimes it can be off by a mile. So when you think you're going to do 5 miles, and that's really like the maximum you think you would do today, and you end up doing 6 or 6.5, it makes a big difference. But yeah, the weather is great for hiking. So Kay from Happy Trails Hiking is saying the weather is great for hiking right now. Can't wait to get out this weekend. It has been so hot all summer. Okay, so you were not able to really go out in the summer because it was really hot. So now is the best time for you to go, which is great. Yes, I mean, weather just makes a big difference. If I guess we would need to go snowshoeing or something like that here.
Yeah.
Because once you get snow, it never stops until spring. And Tony says, just talking about it makes me want to go hiking right now. I know! Me too. I'm dying for it. I don't think I've been walking more than 600 steps every day, like for the past week or so. So I feel completely off physically. Well, you go running, so you're not as bad as I am. But
trying to stay active.
Yeah, you're better than I am at this. But I don't like running. I just don't like running. Oh, okay, you're camping with friends this weekend. Can't wait for the cool weather and hiking. Oh, I'm so jealous. Okay, we need to go to Missouri. See you this weekend, Kay. Surprise!
And
Wow.
any last questions?
Yes, if you have any questions or anything, you can drop them in the chat. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we didn't miss anybody.
Yep, we'll look over the comments and we'll answer any questions if you have anything further. But yeah, I mean, just all the benefits that we went through for the physical and mental, and then all the conversation in the chat. We know that it definitely improves the mind and the body. So.
Yes, for sure. And next week we will be talking. So we will be doing a premiere video, and it will be about what to see in Page, Arizona. So Lisa, we're going to talk about your state. Have you been to Page, Arizona? We had a fun time there. We went twice.
Yep, and then Mondays is
the best hikes in Petrified Forest National Park. So Monday we have a video coming out on the best hikes in Petrified Forest. It's different from the live that we did, the video we did last week. And
it's about top 5 hikes and 4 roadside attractions. So should be pretty interesting.
Definitely, yes. And so Lisa is asking, have we backpacked?
I felt like I backpacked with our child on our back, so, but as a family, no. But that's something I definitely want to get into more now that our son's a little bit older, and we do have the equipment, the tent, and everything is, backpacking has that ability, sleeping pads, everything. We have the backpacks for it, so we just need to get out and do it. But we're kind of limited because we had all this child gear we were carrying around. And yeah, it wouldn't be too much fun, I don't think. But maybe next summer we'll get out there.
Yeah, and Kay says that Paige is on her bucket list. Maybe in January. Yes, we went in January
We've been twice.
Well, yes, we went in January, and then that was Thanksgiving week also after Zion, right? So
yeah.
January is great. It's definitely
January's nice, yeah.
Wonderful for yes, you won't get the light beams, inside Antelope Canyon in January because the sun doesn't go all the way up in there, so that it can go through the canyon, but it's fine. It's just as beautiful anyway. You can't go wrong with that. And then Lance is saying that maybe Mammoth and you're going to go to Mammoth Lakes at the end of October, maybe? Oh, that must be so beautiful. We missed this, and I want to go maybe one day. So, yeah, I guess that's about it for us. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming with us today, and we really appreciate having you and all the comments you made in the chat and the questions. It was really fun. We hope you enjoyed it too, and we'll see you next